Congratulations, because for the last 14 years I've been doing this. Okay, so whenever I see parents taking that interest to know more about parenting, I congratulate them, because yes, you need a commitment, invest your time in this. So congratulations, all of you, that you're here, and I hope you get value for your time, because lots of people are not able to attend the session. And again, in Google Drive, sharing them, asking for their mail ID, it becomes a tedious process. So what I'll do is I'll just upload it in my YouTube channel, then it can be shared very easily. Okay, so this would go. The only reason why I'm giving you first prior information is, even when you ask a query, you can avoid too much of personal things, because it will be uploaded. That's all. So after the session, if at all anything is there, I'll stop the recording and you can always ask that. Okay, during the session, we'll stick to general things so that it's easier for all of us. And again, you don't have to worry about it being uploaded. Okay, so
Okay.
9 o'clock in the evening is a very valuable time, and I have to do justice for the time you're investing in yourself. And I hope I'll be able to do that. So today it is about understanding, okay, why parenting, how can it help us? So just go through the concept of mindful parenting, so that you can make a choice at a later stage, how to go about it. So it's a very new concept. That is why this introduction to mindful parenting session happens. So I'll start with my presentation. Okay. So every parent wants to be heard. I think that is the norm. Okay. Every parent. There is no parent in the world who thinks that, okay, my child knows everything, or I've taught everything to my child. Whatever be the age of the child, do you agree that the primary thing, if at all parenting goal is, I want to be heard by the child? Do you agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And love, laugh, and lead. That is the most simple way of doing it. Okay. It sounds very simple, but it is the most effective thing. Okay. Love, laugh, and lead. All three are important. When you do love and laugh, automatically you lead. And this is what we are going to see today. Okay. And yes, before I start, father and mother are equal partners in parenting. If your partner wants to join, if your partner is free, please ask them to join. Okay, so always parenting is about both. And otherwise, if at all they're not able to join, please do share the recording. So we move on. The first question is, why parenting workshop? Okay, because parenting is something very natural. Our parents never attended any workshop. So we are good. So why do we need parenting workshop? There are two reasons for that. One is technology, the other is education system. Why parenting is important now? Okay, technology is literally doing pseudo parenting for our children. Okay, they learn more from technology, like from social media. So much information is available for our children. We need to upgrade ourselves literally, okay, to understand how technology is affecting our children, how it is doing pseudo parenting. And again, education system, it's highly competitive. Okay, the things the child has to learn is, see, our childhood, our school days, and the childhood for our kids is way different. So because of these two factors, definitely even parents should understand certain things, okay, about technology, about education system, in relation to how a child grows. That is why mindful parenting. So do you know that parenting style determines the development of the child? Okay, so it determines the development of the child. And parenting style is largely affected by the parenting style of the spouse and one's own parents. The thing is, both the mother and father may have different parenting styles. Okay. And in that also, just to give you a small example, sometimes, okay, one of the partner, okay, may think that, oh, my husband or my wife is extremely strict, So I will be lenient towards my child. Okay. So that is kind of making up for the other part. That is why parenting style is dependent on the spouse parenting style. It is very normal. Or our own parents. Okay, we do remember in our childhood how our parents what were they doing? Like, when the same instances happened, or when we were children, I didn't do my homework, or I cut school, or what was happening. We remember that, and we take it also. Okay, so our parenting style has an influence from two factors: our partner's parenting style and our parents' parenting style. And mother and father of the child can have different parenting styles. It's completely okay. The child can understand that, and it is good for the child. No need for us to compliment, kind of make up, like how I told you. Oh, okay, my husband or my wife is extremely strict, so I always try to be very soft or lenient to my child. Or my husband or wife gets angry, so I always try to console my child. I don't discipline my child too much. So don't try to make up for your spouse parenting style. You should have your own parenting style. That works. What are parenting styles? There are authoritarian or disciplinarian is wherein clear cut do's and don'ts. You are the disciplinarian parent. This has to be done this way. That's it. So that is authoritarian, strict parenting. Opposite of that is permissive parenting. Yes, parent. Everything is okay. Uninvolved happens very rarely nowadays, wherein you just don't interfere in anything. Okay, pay the school fees, that's it. You don't involve in anything about the child, which doesn't happen nowadays. Helicopter, again, is the opposite of uninvolved. Micro parenting. Okay, 24 hours, every second, what my child is doing, what my child has to do, that much micro parenting is helicopter parenting. Authoritative is considered the best style of parenting, which means you discipline your child, but you give them choice also. Okay, so you are not an always yes parent. It's a mixture of discipline and permissive. That is authoritative. The child is given a choice. Simple. That is the most important thing in authoritative parenting. And why are we talking about all these things? Baumrind did a research. Okay, it's an interesting research, and this research I'm sharing because it's kind of like, it gives us a very clear cut idea. Authoritarian parents, that means if you're a very strict parent, your child will show these behavioral patterns. Like, child will be moody, unhappy, easily annoyed, relatively aimless, and not very pleasant. Opposite of that, you're a very, very lenient parent. Yes, parent, never strict with the child. Then also your child will show these behavioral patterns. The child will be impulsive, bossy, self-centered, rebellious, less self-control, aimless. See, aimless is here and there. When you're a strict parent or a permissive parent, the child's behavior will be aimless. Relatively quite low in independence and achievement. So any behavior of the child, the first thing we have to reflect upon is the parenting style. Now, authoritative parents, wherein I told you the child is given a choice. Okay, there you will see that the child's behavior will be best adjusted, cheerful, socially responsible, self-reliant, achievement-oriented, and cooperative. This is the goal for all parents. Now we move one step ahead. That is mindful parenting. Mindful parenting is wherein in the present moment, we decide. Sometimes we have to be strict. Okay, disciplinarian parent. Sometimes we have to be permissive. It's okay, let it go. At that moment, for that instance, you can be permissive. Sometimes uninvolved. If the kids' sibling rivalry, if they are sorting it amongst themselves, be an uninvolved parent. Okay, don't intervene. Only if it is required, you intervene. Helicopter, where technology is concerned, it is okay to be a helicopter parent. Okay, what sites are they doing? Like, checking the history, what games are they playing, sit with them and watch the TV to understand what type of shows are they watching. So their helicopter parenting is fine. Authoritative, yes, we know, like, where to give a choice. Here, you have to always remember, when you give your child a choice, it should not be a very open choice. Again, a simple example. What would you like to have for breakfast? That is permissive parenting, actually. The child has the entire control. In authoritative parenting, what you do? Bread sandwich, upma, or puri bhaji. What would you like to have for breakfast? So you decide the options and the child chooses from those options, because you're teaching them to take decisions. So the child is not like, they have to grow, right? A child cannot make big decisions. So it should always be given options, and the options you have to decide. Decide the options and give your child the choice, the freedom to choose. Okay, that is how they learn. So authoritative parenting you use. And when we use all styles of parenting, being in the present moment, that is mindful. Okay. So now we come to the most important part. Like, we all know this. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So when all parenting tips are like giving fish, correct? Immediate. It works for you for that particular problem, that particular time. It is like a ready-made solution. It's just like having a fish. You're done for the day. You get food for the day. I'll just stop a bit here. So, yes, I do share tips and parenting tips, though we get plenty. YouTube or Google search, we get so many parenting tips. They are all good. Some works, like, it is a permutation and combination. Some works for us, some doesn't work for us. So they are like giving fish immediate resolution. Okay. But as I had promised, like, in this session, I will give you 3 parenting tips. I'm directly going to give the fish now. Okay. Because that is a promise which I've made. So the 3 best parenting tips, okay, 100% it has to work. You just apply it. Okay. Rule of the house, listen, and communication. These are the 3 tips I'm giving you today. We'll go one by one. Okay. Rule of the house. If you want, you can write it down or you can later see the recording also. Meals always at the dining table. Okay. Don't allow your child to eat either on the bed, or if they are studying, if they are watching TV, just to save time. Okay. TV time and meal time together because they have to rush for the tuitions, whatever be the reason. One rule you have to just start is meals always at the dining table. And when the rule of the house means every member of the house will follow that. It's not just for your child. Okay. That is why it's called rule of the house. And during meal time, you'll talk only about food. Okay. Talk about the taste of the food, or you can interact with your child. Okay. I've made the bindi very crispy today. Do you like it, or you like it soft? Okay. Or ask them, okay, can you find out I've added another, like, one more thing in the food. Okay, today I've added a special ingredient. Do you get the smell of it? Talk about the food, because all the sense organs are active during mealtime. Smell, taste, touch, they see the food. So generally talk about food. You can talk about the food you like, what you used to eat when you were kids. All that is fine. But talk about food. That is the first rule. And every member should follow. Don't use mealtime to discipline them. Whatever happened in the school, because now they are eating, they will not get up. I have 5 minutes. So let me just give that instruction. Don't do that. Only about food. Second one, things should be in its place. Where should the things be in the house? Okay. Don't start with too many items. Start with 3 items. For example, shoes, books, and remote. The reason I said remote, because it's directly related to screen time. Even if you're watching a show, after you switch on the TV, the remote should be kept back in this, either on the center table or whatever you have for the remote. You will be having an allocated space for remote. So the child should see every member of the family doing this. You're not always holding the remote and watching the TV. Okay. Same way, books. Shoes should be inside the shoe rack. So this is what you say. You are not saying you have to keep the shoes. The rule of the house is shoes should be inside the shoe rack. Books should be inside the bookshelf. Remote should be in that place. Start with these three statements in the house, and if everybody should follow that. Okay. Time management. Here again, start with three. In the sense, have an allocated time for screen time, study time, and music. Just start with 3 times and stick to that. So that is the first, not the first tip, but you have 3 tips on that. Rule of the house. Okay. Now we go to the second tip, that is listen. What is listen? Let I stop to engage now. That is, avoid multitasking when your child is talking to you. Maybe you're cooking and your child is talking to you. If you're doing both, that is multitasking. So either stop cooking and then look at your child when the child is talking to you, or tell your child, just remember what you want to tell me. I'll just finish this and come back to you. Wait, I'll come back to you. Finish your cooking. Then when the child is talking to you, it is very, very, very effective. Or maybe you're working and then your child is talking. So you're doing both. You're typing and the child is talking. You're hearing, you're listening. Don't do that. Do one task, especially when the child is talking to you. You have to be 100% listener to the child. Don't interrupt. That means maybe in between the child may say some things wherein, like, yeah, my friend asked me to stand up and tell the teacher something. Don't interrupt. Oh, you shouldn't do such things. Even if your friend tells you, you should not do that. Don't cut when they are talking. Even if they are saying something which you don't approve, let them continue. Let whatever they have to tell you, let it get complete. So don't interrupt in between. Always maintain eye contact. When you stop multitasking, you will maintain eye contact. Okay. Ask and listen about their day, TV shows, and classes. Here, why this is important, we enroll our child for multiple classes. So as parents, we should always, talk to them also about that. 5 minutes, just ask what happened in class today. It is not helicopter parenting. Huh? You are asking about what you liked. Did you enjoy this? What did you enjoy the most? That kind of talking. You're not asking, okay, did the teacher give you this? Did you finish that homework? Hey, classwork? Hey, no. It's a very, very normal and heart-to-heart conversation about their day. How was your day when they come back from school? Okay, what games did you play with your friends? And lunchtime, did you share your tiffin? Who got what? That kind of things. Okay, even TV shows. When the child is watching their TV show, and if you have the time, you can simply ask, okay, whom do you like in this? Which character is your favorite? Okay, I like this character. So these are the ways to engage with the child. And when the child is saying something, listen. Right? So that is the second tip, listen. Then comes the third tip, communication. In communication, I'm giving some 5 tips, right? Avoid shouting. Come what may. The child is not listening to you. It's not switching off the TV. The school bus has come. It's late. The child is searching for the shoes. Whatever be the situation, don't shout. I know it is very difficult. Only when you shout, they listen. That is the first thing parents tell me. Unless and until I shout, they're not going to do that. Try it out. What happens if you don't shout? Begin with the end in mind. Maybe one day they will miss the school bus, or one day they won't complete the homework. Just see what happens. Avoid shouting at any cost, not only to your kids, generally. Okay, whatever happens in the house, your voice should not be always, they should never hear your raised voice. And remove I and you, talk about the situation. Simple example. You keep the shoes inside. No, that is you, right? Shoes should be inside the shoe rack. You're talking about a situation. This is studied. Switch off the TV. You switch off the TV and go to study. Now it is study time. So you're not using you and I over there. I don't like when you lie. Don't use I. You are saying lying is not a good habit. Okay. And talk with, the third thing is talk with reference to time. That means wherever possible, like screen time, meal time, play time, first you say it's 8 o'clock, dinner time, or it's 7 o'clock, study time. This would help the child in the long run. Anything which can be related to time, include time. Avoid if and threats. It never ever works. The moment you say if, the child knows it has a choice. If you don't switch off the TV, that means I can either switch it off or not switch it off. And always the child would want to know what happens if I don't. What punishment will I get? Can I take that punishment? The child is simply testing the waters. So avoid if and just directly tell them what they have to do. Instead of telling, if you don't do this, this would happen. If you don't finish your homework, your screen time is cut. That is a threat. And another thing, what the child likes, don't always snatch it away. Once it's given, like screen time, 1 hour is given, don't snatch it from the child. So avoid if and threats. And talk in 2 or 3 sentences, never in paragraphs and essays. Because the child hears only 2 or 3 sentences. The rest is all in the air. So these are the tips. Before I continue, I would like to know your views and then I'll continue. I've given you tips which I can guarantee will work. Okay. You can always WhatsApp me if this doesn't work. I can give you that much confidence. Would you like to share about the tips which you got now before I proceed to the next part? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And listening and communicating is something very important that I personally feel that I have to improve. Because as you said, normally I do multitasking whenever my child is talking, and she used to get irritated, and I used to continue doing the multitasking, and this is a kind of eye opener for me. Like,
And believe
I
me,
have one more daughter also, and she used to, whenever the elder one is talking and the younger one also wants to talk, and she used to drag my attention towards her. Like, I'll be like cooking and listening to the younger one and also to the elder one, and three things at a time, and she'll get irritated. Normally, every time whenever she's talking, she'll get irritated. I'll be like, I'm ensuring you that I'm listening to you, but whatever she says, no, half of the thing will not go into my
correct.
mind. So this is something like eye opener for me, and I have to concentrate on this tip very rigorously. I think so.
But
Thank you so much.
yeah, and multitasking, so many parents have come back and told me, yeah, because they would come with so many other complaints.
Your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking now, still. Just a sec.
Hmm.
Is it audible? Is it okay?
Yeah, now it's
Okay.
okay.
See, multitasking, parents have told me so many things, like, so many challenges. Okay, my child is stubborn or whatever. I just tell them for the next 10 days, stop multitasking and start listening whenever your child is talking. And they come back and tell me, we don't know what happened. There is a huge difference in the behavior.
Hmm.
So it is that effective. And even the other tips. All right. So I will be sharing. So later on, if you want, you can literally take down notes and do that.
Yeah.
I'll also be sharing this in the WhatsApp group. I will share. There is also a
Yeah,
mindful
actually,
parent.
I was listening to your YouTube episodes, and
Oh,
I
okay.
actually written some points in the evening.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
thought I
that
should
would
not miss this session.
correct. Okay. So thanks for that. And yeah, so even in the group, I'll keep sharing. So I will even share the PDF version of this. So you can write down the points and just
Sure,
blindly
sure.
start doing it. Okay. As we
Okay,
proceed, you would know, like, why I tell that this would work.
sure, sure,
So
sure.
thanks for that share. Yeah, we'll continue. So I've directly given you the fish, parenting tips. Like these would work. So now question is fish or fishing? The choice is yours. Okay. Parenting tips is fish. Fishing is you understand parenting concepts, the science behind all this. Okay, my child is throwing tantrums. Why? Why is it happening? There is a science behind that. Okay, my child is not focused on studies. There is lack of attention span, sibling rivalry. Why is it happening? So when we know, okay, there are some parenting concepts. When we know that, we'll know, oh, this is the reason. Then you make a choice. You're not applying a tip. You know why you're using that technique, or you yourself have come out with that parenting tip. Okay, so it is like fish or fishing. You have to make that choice. Okay, it is completely your choice. I know why invest money on parenting, why invest time on parenting course. It's a very, very rational question. So if you choose just to have parenting tips to get things going, I would invite you to join my WhatsApp group and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So before we continue, yes, I respect your time. You want to go ahead, like, if you think it's only parenting tips, you can leave. If you want to understand more, then we'll continue. Okay. So all of you would like to continue because the tips part is over. Now we are going to talk about the parenting concepts, wherein the investment comes, like, it's about the new workshop and all that. So would you like to continue, all three of you?
Ma'am, I would like to leave. In case if I have any doubts, I'll ask in the chat box, YouTube chat box.
All right.
And then, in case if I need more of concepts and tips, then I
Okay.
think I'll contact you via WhatsApp.
Okay. And even in
it's
the
time
group, I'll be sharing this session. If the other two continue, I'll complete the session. So you can always understand about the concept because the new workshop is starting on 15th of July.
Okay.
With all the healthy tree approach, wherein all the concepts you will get to know. Okay. So that you can always see the record. I'll be sharing it.
Okay.
All right.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much for all your tips and
Thanks,
tricks. It
Avitika.
was very useful.
Yeah. Hoping to see you. So we'll be in touch, be part of the Mindful Parents community.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kartika,
Bye, ma'am.
yeah, bye.
You have a good evening.
Bye, yeah, thank you, Radha.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now we are going ahead. We know, okay, fishing, yes, we can get any number of tips, especially with YouTube, it's very good. So mindful parenting is the art of being in the present moment. This is the most important thing, being in the present moment. This is what you literally learn. 2 months with me, you learn to be in the present moment. Observe, listen, and then make conscious choices. That is, before you say something, you learn to be in the present moment, observe, listen, and then you talk. So your words would come after all these filters. Okay. What is mindful parenting? The focus is IQ equal to EQ. That means for a child, both are equally important, academics and emotional quotient, because they may be doing extremely well in academics. But at a later point, when they have to survive in this world, social skills, okay, adaptability, emotional resilience, that means having how to accept no or different types of behavior when they go out in the world, they are going to get different kinds of opinions, attitudes. People may behave to them in a different way. They have to go, they have to keep going, right? That is emotional quotient. So how we have to give that also from home. EQ also starts from home. All right. So that is mindful parenting. We give experiences for both. And two important components of mindful parenting. One is communication, okay, wherein all the tips, everything will come there. The other one is learning environment. Okay, here is where EQ is also coming. To understand learning environment, just understand the concept biological family versus logical family. Biological family is all, like, especially father, mother, grandparents, cousins, brother, own brother and sisters, extended family also. If there is, like, they keep coming and going, biological family. All the relatives would come there. Logical family, neighbors, teachers, and nowadays social media friends, okay, all friends, they are all logical family. The biggest change that is happening now is when we were children, biological family was more. The strength of biological family was more. Logical family, not as big as biological. Now, for our children, logical family is more than the biological family. So the influence from friends, social media, outside world is definitely very, very significant. So what do we do? So here is where parenting as a concept comes, wherein we understand. Biological family is what? Is like the root system for a plant. The plant will go towards sunlight. Okay, friends and social media will influence your child's behavior because that is part of growth process. We cannot stop that. We cannot cut the branches. Then how can the plant grow? But what will the plant root? What are the roots doing? As the plant grows towards the sun, the root spreads and holds the plant to the ground, right? The root starts spreading. We parents, we are the root system. What can we do to nourish the roots? That is mindful parenting. And there are lots of things which we can do. If our focus is on nourishing the roots, not on cutting out how they go towards logical family, you can't stop it. It is going to happen. Maybe at home you don't buy a TV, but one day or the other, the child is going to be exposed to that. There is no way you can stop that. Even schools are are becoming smart schools. So there is, and all the homework you have to submit through that. So there is no way you can keep technology away from your child. But yes, we can nourish the roots and do things at home so that the child stays grounded. All right. This is what we are looking. Now, how learning environment helps? The basis of EQ. The child should get a sense of belongingness and sense of security. Whatever they may say, my friend has this, my friend's parents do this, all said and done. That sense of belongingness in our own house always works. Okay, the child should feel that. So we have to kind of incorporate activities in the house that we know sense of belongingness is there, sense of security. We as parents may ask, okay, these are all very natural, right? How can the child belongs to the family? Do I have to act and show the child that yes, you belong? No, it is not about acting. It is about focusing on the child. At times we focus too much on the child's IQ, that is classes and school and what the friends, screen time and all those things. We don't focus on the child. We don't look at the child and smile. At least 10 times in a day, we have to smile at the child. That is where they get the sense of belongingness, sense of security. They see that, everybody around me is also happy. For a child, that is very important. How my parents talk to each other. When parents talk and laugh with each other, the child automatically feels good. There is a connection. So, sense of security. Emotional development. The child is noticing everything. Okay, how are the parents talking to each other? When they have a difference of opinion, how do they solve it? What words are they using it? What is their body language? They learn all of that and how we talk to the child. That is where all the emotional development happens. Sense of responsibility. Okay, as parents, okay, we have to make sure that in stages the child learns sense of responsibility. One is responsibility towards self. That includes hygiene, even taking bath, brushing your teeth, brushing the teeth, all this comes under hygiene. Washing your hands before you eat your food. So these have to be rule of the house. Everybody does it, the child will always follow it. So that is responsibility towards self. Then responsibility towards the family. There comes how you talk to your elders, how you respond. So that is responsibility towards and how you help them. Kids or children can also help others. So their responsibility towards the family, their responsibility towards the house. There comes keeping things in order, keeping the shoes inside the shoe rack, the remote, or okay, if you have it's dinner time, they can also help you laying the table. That is responsibility towards the house. Gardening, they can take it up. Then comes responsibility towards their school. Then responsibility towards society, not throwing waste on the road or zebra crossing. So when you know that there are 5 pillars to teach sense of responsibility, you would consciously make sure that you talk to the child about all these things. That is how it's. So parenting concepts is what we are looking at it. Now we'll just see parenting concepts. The main parenting concepts we are talking about is neuroplasticity, diet, exercise, and sleep. What is the science behind it? Role of sense organs, emotional and logical brain, me time, couple time, family time, and communication. These are the concepts which would help every parent. When we know the science behind all these things. Now we go back to rule of the house. I gave you the tips directly, right? Meals always at the dining table. Things should be in its place. It is based on the concept of neuroplasticity. So when you understand neuroplasticity, I don't have to give you these tips. You would automatically know, okay, how to talk, which rule should be there, because you know what is neuroplasticity. I'll just give you one very simple thing. One of the parent who applied it, because that would give you a clear idea.
Hi, how do kids learn? So my answer would be by repetition. Just like you learn a poem or a lesson or something to do with school, you learn it by repeating it over and over. The same way it is with habits, but not not by repeating the instructions over and over, by repeating the action over and over. And by that I mean, for instance, I keep telling my children to keep their books back in the bag after they're done studying, and not to leave it here and there. So I can say that 100 times and they still won't do it. But if I make them do it 3 or 4 times, the 5th time they'll get it, that there's something that they have to do. So the key is in not repeating the instruction, but repeating the action. So that's my input. Thank you.
Okay. So the tip which I gave you is based on neuroplasticity, the 3 tips. So it has to work because it's based on a concept. All right. So
listen to me. Like I do this all the time. And if I go out at the house or to the door, Matthew has his toys, and then Matthew has all his toys.
Okay, but I have to yell at you guys.
Okay, Linda, listen, Linda, listen.
Okay.
Okay. Do you hear that? The reason I chose this video is the child repeatedly tells you, listen, listen, listen.
Yes.
This child has actually said it, but all children, this is what they tell their parents. Listen. Okay, that is the second tip which I gave you. The parenting tips I gave you as listen, right? Let I stop to engage now. Now, this is based on which concept? It's based on role of sense organs. When you understand sensory inputs, okay, what the child is hearing, what the child is seeing, eye contact, the child is a visual thing, right? When the child sees you looking at you, at the child. And your action also the child sees, and the child is also understanding that you're listening to it, listening to the child. So it is about role of sense organs. You understand sensory inputs, you will understand how this parenting works.
Okay.
So I'm just giving you the idea how it works. All right.
Yes.
And also emotional brain. So here 2 concepts. Based on that, I gave you this tip. Like, multitasking and eye contact and all this, there is a science behind that.
Yes.
The concepts are these 2. Okay. Because everybody wants to be heard. What happens? Both the child and the parent wants to be heard. And what happens? Both are shouting. So, so then when you shout, you don't hear. The other person will not hear you. Shouting only stays in the air. It never enters the ear. Because as human beings, we have a decibel, they say. Only a particular tone of voice will be heard. If you talk loudly, they are only looking at our body language. And generally the sound. The words are not having any effect. Okay. So, and again, in the emotional brain, the child is storing that image. So when you understand role of sense organs, you'll automatically stop shouting.
Yes.
Okay. And then I gave you the tips about communication. Now, that is based on what? It is based on the parenting concept of emotional and logical brain. Do you know that the logical brain develops only by the age of 21? till then, the child's emotional brain is at work. So when we ask the child to be responsible, believe me, it is Chinese for the child. Because they cannot understand what responsibility is, because their logical brain is still work in progress. That is why we should always tell them what to do and talk in 2 or 3 sentences. So all these tips, it's based on a concept. Okay, and these are the concepts which we'll be doing in the Healthy Tree Approach program. So communication is what you become a Pied Piper parent. Once you say it, your child would listen to it, follow it, because you know what to say, how to say, and when to say. Okay, you become the Pied Piper parent. This again is a testimonial from a parent.
It was lovely talking to you again, Shrivya. I would only say that the entire journey of being in those parenting sessions was more than parenting session. I would say it was very opening for me as a person, as an individual, because I got present to a lot of things which was stopping me from being a parent with my child, because I had a lot of baggage that I had carried from my childhood, and somehow it was coming in the way between me and my child in the communication part. And well, it was very tough exercise for me to go back to those days, recollect those memories, and jot down how it was, what did I feel at that time, and how is it coming the way between me and my child. We are much calm now, and we have understood that it's not in the child, it's in me as a parent, that I have to deal with the way I am talking, I am behaving, how am I thinking, what are my thought patterns. That is more important than why is my child not reading, why is my child not writing, why is my child talking back to me like this. So I always assume that it's on the other end, but I never knew that it's in me, where the change or the transformation has to happen. And thanks to Srividya, uh, and it was wonderful session. I still have those memories very, very clear, those sessions very, very clear. Whenever I am stopped, I will always sit back, and she has taught me that principle of holding the thumb and closing the fist, and stay close, stay calm for a few minutes, then react to things, then respond to things, than reacting. So there were many things that we have, actually me and my husband both did it together. Therefore, it was a wonderful experience for both of us. And thanks to Srividya. Thanks again.
Thanks a lot, Amrita. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
So now are you convinced, do you agree that communication, both verbal and non-verbal, is the first parenting challenge?
Sorry, ma'am.
That is the first any answer to any parenting challenge lies in communication, both verbal and non-verbal.
Yes, ma'am.
Any parenting challenge you have, okay, how we talk, how we communicate. Okay, for us to know how to communicate. See, if you want to talk in Chinese, you cannot just start talking in that new language with just by knowing 10 or 15 sentences, right? You should know the grammar, you should know the vocab, then you will be able to express.
Yes, ma'am.
It is like that. Even parenting tips, there is a science behind that. The Healthy Tree approach, which the main today's session is, it's an inside out approach. Okay. And it is like you choose 5 challenges. Whatever challenges you have, that is 2 weeks before the workshop starts. It's 6+2. You would, I will give you worksheets and you will do it on the WhatsApp also. We'll chat, we'll communicate. So you will choose 5 challenges which you're going to work in the next 6 weeks. Parenting. A handheld approach. Handheld approach means always on WhatsApp I'm available. Okay. Plus, we will be seeing 6 weeks, 6 concepts. That is 6 Zoom sessions. It is on Mondays and Wednesdays will be the workshop, because weekends I'm avoiding because so many things happen on weekends. So Mondays and Wednesdays 9 to 10. Even if you miss little bit, all the recordings are uploaded on the Teachable. So here
Okay.
and there, if you miss, you will not miss everything. So each week, okay, neuroplasticity, the first week. So how
Okay.
it goes, there will be a Zoom session wherein I directly explain to you what neuroplasticity is. And then Teachable is the learning management. There I've already uploaded more explanatory videos on neuroplasticity. So
Okay.
throughout that week, you can see all those videos. Any doubt you have, you can either comment there or you can put it on WhatsApp. All right.
Okay.
Each topic is taken like that. You will have one Zoom session plus explanatory videos. So you will understand the concepts clearly, how to apply it. And
Okay.
then along with that, so Mondays, we are doing all the concepts. Wednesdays, 3 Wednesdays, we will separately see memory bank. Okay. And 3 Wednesdays, we'll separately see mindfulness because these help in implementing the parenting concepts.
Okay.
Memory bank is one of the most important things. So these are all separate courses. Those who have done these courses, they would pay less because they've already done this course, like, memory bank or mindfulness. But here it is all coming together because you're doing it at one time. So the effect is more. When you're doing the session, you're also doing memory bank, it doubles the effect.
Okay.
So now comes the question, okay, the age of the child is different. So I would also give you a weekly call. So you're doing neuroplasticity. You see the explanatory videos. Plus, we will also talk, okay, one-to-one call, so that you can clearly ask me, okay, how do I apply this for my challenge? What do I do? That is where the handheld approach comes.
Okay.
So you get it customized, okay, based on the parenting concept. We are going through the concept base.
Okay.
Plus, there are 30 days activities which are already ready. Okay, I have the entire folder. So once you enroll, I'll courier it to you. So every day, small activities. It's not a big thing. It's whatever happens in your daily routine, there is a structure to that. That's all. Like, one day it will be like, okay, count the number of times you smile at your child. I'm just giving you small examples.
Okay.
Because it's based on role of sense organs. So based on the topic of the week, for 7 days, you will have either activities or journal, plus the one-to-one call wherein you can customize everything. The activities, the concept, your challenge, all right? And 2 weeks activities, as I told you, pre-workshop. Plus, you would also get access to Zentangle course. Zentangle is like mandala art, type of drawing. You can relax. So my idea is, if all the parents are ready, every day 30 minutes I'll do Zentangle. Like, you will log in, I'll teach you something, you will just do that. So 30 days, half an hour every day, you relax.
Okay.
That is 6 weeks, at least 30 days we'll do that. So that becomes one more pattern for you. And there is one parent who actually does this now. When her kids are studying, right? And when she says, when I do that Zentangle, I calm down. Because I know they'll make mistakes or they will get up and go. So that is a trigger for me. But as a habit, and she started sharing, like, during their study time, plus she's also sitting with them. And the child also, her daughter also started doing Zentangle.
Okay.
So for the kids also, it is just a relaxation technique because you focus on that. So you don't think about other things. That's all. Okay. So this is how effectively, we are meeting 3 days in a week. Mondays and Wednesdays Zoom session plus one-to-one calls. So this is why it is called the handheld approach. So 5 challenges, we take it on and work on it. Okay. So it's action time. You can join now and start your journey. Fish or fishing, that is the choice which you're going to make, right? If it is fishing, yes, you have to invest in yourself. The healthy tree approach, because it includes everything, like all the Zoom sessions, my one-to-one calls, everything is included in that. The 2 months, 6 plus 2 weeks. Okay. 1st of July, if you start, by 15th of July, you will finish your 2 weeks WhatsApp. And then 15th of July onwards, we will start the 6 weeks program. So effectively, we are starting from 1st of July. Okay. So we come to the end of the session. So this is the Healthy Tree Approach program, wherein you decide to understand the parenting concept and become an empowered parent. Basically, you make the choices, you know how to make it. Because how it works. That's the idea of the whole journey. So now I give you, Yes, I would definitely like to know your takeaways from this session and what are you planned, your choice. I would say, what do you choose?
Okay.
First, I would like to know what your feedback, what is your takeaway from this session?
Yes, now we can clearly understand what are all the things that we are lagging in the parenting
Okay.
after your workshop.
Are you ready to invest in yourself?
Yes, ma'am. But
So I'm not charging separately for husband and wife.
yes.
All right.
Okay. I will get back
Do
to
let
you.
me know. Yeah, do
Yes,
let
ma'am.
me know. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.